Hello guys, I am Jasmeet and welcome to Blogging Unplugged. In this video, we have discussed what's new in Elementor Pro 3.11. This update is for the premium version of the Elementor website builder plugin, and it includes two main features, and these are the new loop carousel widget and the date and time range in the advanced rules in Popups. Now I have created timestamps for both these topics in the description box below, along with the links to our socials and Elementor Pro. Now feel free to follow us on other platforms as well, because that helps out a lot. And with that said, let me start sharing the screen, and in the meantime you make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Hello guys, and welcome to the screen capture of this video. As you can see, we have two tabs open in the browser. The first one is for Elementor Pro 3.11, which is this one, and the second one is for Elementor Pro 3.10, which is this one. We will be using these for the comparison purposes. Now coming to the first feature that has been introduced in Elementor Pro 3.11, and that is the new loop carousel widget. Now this widget is very similar to the loop grid widget that was introduced in Elementor Pro 3.8, and the only difference that you will see is that now the items will be displayed in an infinite loop instead of a grid. Now the settings will be different, but the process of creating a template is exactly the same. Now before we visit the Elementor editor and see this new widget in action, what I am going to do is I'm going to take you to features in Elementor, which is right here. This tab was earlier called, before Elementor 3.11, it was called experiments, so now it's called features. So I have discussed this in my previous video on the free version of Elementor 3.11. okay, so go check that video out after this if you want to. Now you need to check here, if you want to use the loop carousel widget, then this loop feature has to be active. It comes active by default, so you can see default is right here and the feature is active. You can see it says active by default. In case it is not, then you can select either active or default and it will activate the loop, both the loop grid and the carousel widgets, right? Then you will be able to use them. Now let's head over to the Elementor editor and see this widget in action. So here we are in the Elementor editor, and you will find the loop carousel widget under the pro section right next to the loop grid widget. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this loop grid widget here. Now, as I told you before, the process of creating a template is exactly the same. So you can see it has exactly the same options right here. Choose a template. It will be for either for posts and products. Based on this selection, basically the queries will change inside. So I'll get to that part later. So for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select post. Now another thing that you will have to know here is that in case you have created a template for the loop grid widget, then you will be able to use that template in loop carousel as well. So that will save you a lot of time. If you have already created a template, then you can select it from this drop down right here. Now for right now, I do not have any templates inside this setup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click create right here, click save, and it will take me to this sort of an editor. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a featured image, go back, and the post title, and then I'm going to add a post excerpt. Right, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to click save, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to move this down right here. So you can see now, instead of displaying all of these items in a grid, it displays it as a carousel, right? You can see there are arrows here and there are arrows here, which are not properly visible right now, but you can see there are other pages as well, other slides. Basically in the carousel you have slides, right? So you have these slides as well, so we can scroll right like this, or I can use these arrows here, and you can see how easy it is to scroll, right? Now coming to some of the settings, right? So you can see equal height is active right here. The number of slides is here. Slides to display you can change based on you can select different breakpoints, and then select the sides to display. Same is for the sides on scroll. The next one is the queries. So in case you want to include anything or exclude anything, you can click right here and select based on terms and authors. Okay, you can ignore sticky posts, you can order them, you can select based on dates or queries. Next is the settings, right? So this is where you can set how this basically infinite loop will behave. Basically it is on autoplay right now, so I can close it and you will see half of the settings will disappear. Now it is not on autoplay. Before you could see it was looping itself, but now it is not. And if I will activate it, and you will see it will start looping again itself. You can see it automatically loops, right? I was waiting just for this thing, right? Now you can pause on hover as well. You can see it is active. So if I will be hovering on this on the widget, on basically this template right here, it will not it will pause, it will not autoplay itself. Then pause on interaction is another thing. So if I'm clicking right here or somewhere here, it will just stop, right? The next thing is the transition duration, which is this one, and the direction is towards the left. So you can see it is going towards the left. I can select right as well. The next one is the navigation, and you can see you can choose custom icons, upload your own as well, and you can see you can display arrows and you can remove them as well. So you can see there are no arrows now. Okay, the next thing is the pagination, and you can display dots here, fractions here. You can see 1/4, so there are 4 slides, right? And progress here as well. So progress bar comes on top, right? So you can see, so I can scroll and you can see how the progress bar is completing or not. Rest, as far as the style settings are concerned, you can see them right here. You can set the gap between the slides, the navigation you can set, and the pagination. So this is a basic first look of the loop carousel widget. Very similar to the loop grid widget that we have discussed before. You can use this widget. Let me know what you feel about it, and then we'll go from there, right? Now before we move forward, there was an error with the kind of setup that I had created actually. So what was happening was I did add the post title, but it didn't drag onto the canvas properly. So that was why the post title wasn't showing, and while rechecking everything, I just saw this thing not working correctly when I actually had added it. As far as the excerpt is concerned, I did not basically add excerpt on any of these posts that I've created here. So that is one reason why excerpt isn't displaying. So those are the two things that I wanted to clarify before I publish this video. So again, in case you have any queries, this widget is working exactly how it is supposed to work for right now. It did work exactly the same way when I created the article as well. So there are no problems. Actually, there was a problem that I didn't recheck the setup again, and I went on to explain the settings rather than fixing the loop carousel widget. So I apologize for that. But you can see now the post, the titles are working, but there is no excerpt because I haven't added that in the post itself. So that is the thing. Now after the loop carousel widget, the next improvement that has been introduced in Elementor Pro 3.11 is the introduction of a new feature known as schedule date and time in the pop-up builder. Now if you have been using Elementor Pro as a marketing tool, which means you are creating landing pages, pop-ups, and other things using it, then you must be familiar with the fact that it does not allow you to schedule pop-ups. Now let me show you what I'm talking about first. So this is Elementor Pro 3.11, and if you go to advanced tools, then you will see there is no option to schedule, automatically schedule, or basically there is no option to activate or deactivate the pop-ups that you have on your site. So you will have to log into your website and then post them on the exact time when that particular campaign has to go online. And similarly, when you have to deactivate it, you have to repeat the process, go back into your website and deactivate it. Now this has changed in Elementor Pro 3.11, and now what you will be able to do is you will be able to go to advanced rules and you can schedule date and time from right here. Now when I will activate this option, what it will give me the first option that you will come across is the site or the visitor. Now if I want to display this pop-up according to the visitor's time zone, then I can click visitor right here. And as far as the site is concerned, this is the time zone that you have selected in the WordPress settings basically, right? So for example, I am from India, I have selected the +530 time zone. So that is the time zone that is fetched here right now. The next option is the start and the end. Now when I will click this option right here, it will show me a calendar like this, and I can select 24 right here, and then it will give me it will ask me to set a time. So I can set a time according to my requirements, and once done, what I can do is I can schedule an end as well. So I can select 31 right here, and then again a time, and click save and close. Now this makes the process of basically this basically automates the process of getting a campaign live and then deactivating when it is not required. So this makes the process much more easier than before, where you had to log in and activate everything. So this is another change that you will find in Elementor Pro 3.11. Now remember, I have been a huge proponent of using Elementor as a marketing tool, because that is what it is for in my eyes. It's a huge marketing play where you can create unlimited landing pages using it, and you do not need any third-party plugin, because it or a third-party service for pop-ups and stuff like that, where it will cost you additional money. It all comes packaged into Elementor Pro at $15.9. So that is a steal that you are getting for a marketing tool, right? So in case you want to buy Elementor Pro, link to it is in the description box below. In case you have any queries, feel free to comment down below and I will try and help. Also, if you found the video helpful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notification bell. Now I hope you will find this video helpful and are now familiar with the Elementor Pro 3.11 update. Now if you did, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notification bell. Now in case you have any queries, feel free to comment down below and I will try and help. Also, the links to the article that I have done on Elementor Pro 3.11, in case you want to buy Elementor Pro, then the link to that and our socials are in the description box below. Feel free to follow us on other platforms as well. And with that said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.